Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be doing a swatching and try on of every single shade from Rare Beauty's liquid blush line. If you guys are not familiar with Rare Beauty, this is Selena Gomez's beauty line, and if you've been around on my channel for the last couple of years, you've probably seen a few reviews and swatch videos that I've done of some Rare Beauty products. This video is not sponsored, however, Rare Beauty did send this to me. I'm gonna say it, I'm a huge Rare Beauty fan, regardless of if they sent this to me or not. I have talked about Rare Beauty on my channel for years, and I've purchased a lot of their products. I really love Rare Beauty, and so when this showed up on my doorstep, I was so excited, a little overwhelmed, because there's actually way more blush shades than I think I even realized, and we are going to swatch all of them and we're gonna try them all on. I have my foundation, some micellar water to do touch-ups and reapply between shades, but we've got 13 shades, I believe, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 13 shades of the Soft Pinch Liquid Blush, along with the brush that Rare Beauty also has. So I think I'm gonna start with swatches, and I'm just gonna go from left to right in this casing. So the first blush shade is the shade Bliss, and this one is a matte blush. This is really light baby pink, and we're just gonna try to do this. I'm just gonna get them all on here. Next up is the shade Grace. This one is also a matte shade. Next shade is Love, and this is almost like a deep coral. Next shade is Faith, which is a really deep berry shade. Next blush shade is Happy, and this is one of their dewy blushes. It's this really pretty Barbie pink. Next shade is Grateful, and it is this fiery red. Next shade is Lucky, and it is a really bright fuchsia. Next shade is Joy, and it's this really pretty orange. Next shade is Believe. This is a really beautiful muted mauve. Next shade is Hope. This is the shade Encourage. This is the shade Worth, and it's a limited edition shade. And the last shade is Virtue, which is also a limited edition shade. As you guys can see on my arm here, we've got a ton of really bold shades. If you guys are not familiar with the formula of the Soft Pinch liquid blushes, they are incredibly pigmented, and you do not need hardly any during the application. So we are going to test these out. I'm gonna go from lightest to most neutral shades to the boldest, and luckily I don't have anything after this, so I can remove all my makeup and give my skin a break. But I'm gonna be testing one shade on each side to try to knock out as many as I can with one application. But these are all of the shades, and they are such a good shade range. You have basically all of your different nudes, corals, bright colors, deep colors, and I feel like she did a really good job of kind of hitting all the different shades of blushes. All right, we are gonna go ahead and start off with our first shade, which is Bliss. This is actually the first shade that I swatched for you guys. It's this baby pink, super light. And I'm gonna show you guys, you barely apply any to the face. So we're just gonna do a little dot. And then taking the Rare Beauty blush brush, I'm going to blend this out here. And a little bit goes a long way with these blushes, so keep that in mind. Ooh, that is so pretty. Also, just so you guys know, I hardly have any foundation on because I didn't want it to be too drastic when I remove all this, and I also did not put bronzer on because I knew I was gonna have to take all of this off. But that was a really light application of Bliss. Super pretty, very natural looking. On this side, I'm gonna do the shade Virtue. This is the limited edition shade. It's more of a corally color. I really like blushes with orange, bronzy undertones for my personal skin tone. I think it's just really flattering. So again, I'm gonna barely apply any there and blend it out with the blush brush. And this is one of the dewy blushes. So this side, Bliss, was a matte blush, and then this side is more of a dewy blush, and you can see here it is catching the light still, whereas this one is a little bit more matte. So because this is a lighter shade, I might apply a little bit more just so you guys can see. I like to go light-handed and then kind of build it up as needed, but this is Bliss and this is Virtue. Now, if I was actually gonna do my blush, I would also apply whatever shade I was using onto my nose, but because I'm doing two different colors, I don't want to apply one of them to my nose. So more of a coral orange bronze, and then more of a soft baby pink. I am using my Drunk Elephant micellar water to remove this blush and foundation, which actually removed it pretty well on my arm, but the reason I had kind of put off doing this video is because I knew I was gonna have to take off my makeup between each application, and I almost wasn't gonna do this video because I was like, do I really want to reapply foundation between every swatch? And this is what my face looks like without any sort of foundation. My skin is gonna be so mad at me by the end of this, but it will be worth it. So I'm gonna reapply some concealer here and try to get an even base for our next shades. I'm not gonna show you guys this process between each shade, but I want you to know that I'm like reapplying my foundation so that each shade is at least as close to true color as I can get here. My skin will probably start to get a little bit red and irritated towards the end, so there might be a little bit of my skin tone kind of popping through, but in the beginning stages, we are concealing our past blush. All right, next, let's do the shade Hope and let's do Grace. So Hope and Grace here. We'll do Hope on this side. Hope is a little bit of a lighter shade again. We're gonna do a little dot dot and blend it out here. I'm going a little bit heavy-handed just so you guys can really see the color of the blush. I feel like on camera it doesn't pick up quite as much as it does in person, so I'm doing it a little bit heavier than I would normally do. So this one is Hope. This one is a matte blush. And then Grace is a little bit of a bolder color, so I'm just gonna do one dot for this. So this is Grace, and this is Hope. Again, keep in mind I went a little bit heavy-handed with these just so you could see really the color of them, but both are actually really, really pretty. Next, we're gonna do the shades Worth and Encourage. So we've got a more corally color here and then a more true mauve over here. This is the shade Worth. That is so pretty. I love that shade. It's so like natural looking too. I almost wonder if I should put like a little bit more on just so you can like really see the color of it. It's so stunning though. Well, maybe just went a little bit too heavy-handed there, but I really want you guys to like see the full effect of the blush because it's so, so pretty. Also, pro tip, if you ever go too heavy-handed with your liquid blush like this, you can take your foundation sponge and just pat over the areas that you want to soften, and it instantly softens up your blush. So this is the shade Worth, so pretty. And then we're gonna do Encourage on this side. This one is more of a kind of dusty mauve, which I'm wondering how this darker shade will look on my skin. I love the way that these blushes just like blend out though. They're so pretty. Ooh, that's actually really pretty, that more like purpley kind of undertone. Encourage, Worth. It's so funny seeing two different blush shades on with no bronzer or really anything else. So right about now is when my cheeks start getting mad at me for putting makeup on and removing it. I think these might be our last two light-ish shades. We've got Happy, which is this Barbie pink, and then Joy, which is this really beautiful orange. So we'll do Happy on this side. Ooh, that actually blends out really, really pretty. I thought that was gonna be like a really intense pink, but that is so stunning. It just gives like a pop of life to the face. And then this is the shade Joy, which is a more orangey coral shade, which typically look good on me, so I'm interested to see how this one looks. It's definitely like a true orange, but all of them have been blending out so pretty, so I would not be surprised if this looked amazing too, even though it's more of an orange than like a coral. They just blend out so gorgeous. I feel like this is a really good example. You can see the two different shades here. Orangey coral, baby pink. Both of them are so pretty, but I kind of think I like Happy more. I mean, this is like gorgeous. If I had like a full bronzer on and everything, I don't know. You guys are gonna have to leave a vote down below of your favorite shade, because I feel like every shade so far has looked so good on, has blended out so well. Oh. The formula of these are just so good. If you haven't tried the Soft Pinch liquid blushes, I would highly recommend grabbing one shade. They are so incredible. The formula is like no other. I feel like this formula is so good. It blends out so well, works perfectly with your foundation. So pretty, so pigmented. You barely have to use any product, and they're just stunning. Okay, low-key though, this micellar water is incredible at removing makeup, but also being really gentle on the skin. It's like a milky micellar water, so it's just like removing everything but keeping my skin pretty hydrated. It's not like stripping my skin, which is what I need right now, because obviously I'm doing the most right now. Next two shades are Love and Believe. We've got Love over here, Believe over here. These are a little bit of a deeper shade. Love is a little bit more of a red, and Believe has a little bit more purpley undertones. So we're gonna do Love on this side. I feel like this shade is gonna be really pretty on, just because again, it's that like brick red kind of corally undertones. I am just shook at how well they all blend so seamlessly into the skin. Like, you feel like they're gonna go on really dark and heavy, but then blended out, they're so beautiful. I love Love. I love Love. This one is so pretty. I was thinking it was gonna be a little bit too deep, but I think it looks so good on. And then this is the shade Believe, and this one has more of those kind of purple mauve undertones. And ooh, that one's a little bit dark, so let's see how this one blends. I have faith though, because honestly they're all blending out so beautifully. Oh yeah, I can already tell this is like gonna be gorgeous. Are you kidding me? These are insane. Is that not so beautiful? This is Believe. Do you see how just like perfectly that blended into my skin? Oh, I am obsessed with these blushes, guys. I cannot even iterate enough how much I love these blushes. The formula, the feel, the blendability, the color range right now. I don't feel like there's a blush that I've tried on yet that I haven't really loved. I'm so shocked that every single shade so far has looked good on my skin. Also, in case you're wondering what I keep reapplying as like my foundation, it's the Tarte Shape Tape. Original formula, I'm in shade Light Medium Neutral, and this stuff is my go-to. It is so good. Okay, we've got 3 more shades. I'm gonna pick 2 of them and then we'll end on, should we end on the red or the Barbie pink? Let's end on Barbie pink because the Barbie movie's coming out. So 2 shades here. We've got Faith, which is this really beautiful deep berry color. And then this is the shade Grateful. Faith and Grateful. So we'll do Faith on this side here, and this is a really deep shade. So this is the real test to how these blushes blend out, because I feel like this one's a really deep shade, and I went kind of light-handed with this one because I wasn't really sure. You're kidding me. That is so insane. These blushes, I'm telling you, they look like they're gonna be the most intense thing that you've ever put on your face. Like, look how dark that looks. But then the second that you start blending it out, it just works with your skin. Like, it just melts into the skin in a way that I feel like, oh, that is just so incredible. Sometimes I feel like liquid blushes or cream blushes can sit on top of the skin and kind of slide around. These like turn into like they don't turn into a powder, but they don't sit on top of the skin. They like blend really well into the skin. So this one is Faith. It's this really pretty berry color. And then this is the shade Grateful, which is a bright, punchy red. And this one, I'm excited to see how this looks on my skin because this one is like very, very vibrant. But if I had to guess, it's gonna blend out beautifully. I feel like when you apply this blush, it's always like terrifying in the beginning of like what it's gonna look like. And then as it blends, it's like gets better and better. My skin is also really mad at me for doing this, so. Okay, so this is the shade Grateful. This is the shade Faith. And I'm gonna show you guys my tip because see how this is like really, really bright? I'm gonna take my beauty sponge here and I'm going to tap it along the areas that I want to soften, and it's gonna magically make these blushes look like I am blushing from within. Look at that, you can still see it underneath it, but it's not as bright for those more like intense shades. Kind of same over here. I'm just gonna, that looks incredible. It looks so good. So this is more of that berry tone. This is more of that red pink tone. I definitely gravitate more towards the orangey red hues versus the berry cool tones. I feel like these kind of like lift my face. So pretty though. I just cannot believe that these two shades look as good as they do. I mean, you would think that they would be crazy, crazy bright and just like way too punchy, but they look so good. I am obsessed. I'm obsessed with these blushes. Last blush, and my face thanks me. Last shade here, Lucky, which is Barbie Pink. And we're just gonna do this all over because we don't have another one to pair it with. So I'm gonna do it on both sides here. Ooh, this is so bright. All right, watch this be the one shade that like doesn't blend out, but we're gonna just go ahead and start on the nose here. Oh my goodness. This might be another one of those shades that I need to put some foundation over, but that foundation over your blush trick is such a hack. Look how crazy that looks. Don't worry, we can revive this. If I wasn't just going for it in this video, I probably would have never even tried this shade, if we're being honest. Like, I don't gravitate towards super bright colors. Do you see how little I used of that to do this? This is insane. Okay, here we go. We're gonna soften it up and we're gonna revive this. And this is gonna be beautiful, I tell myself. Look at that, like that, from this to this. If it ever gets out of hand, just put your foundation over it because it looks like you're blushing from within. It makes it almost look even more natural when you have the blush underneath the foundation. Like, are you kidding me? That is so pretty. And you still get the blushy tones. I could feel you guys were not hopeful with that. You were doubting me. I could feel it. I was doubting it too, honestly. I was a little nervous. But that is so pretty. Guys, every shade, every single shade, you saw it. We went from this to this. I have no words. I have literally no words for how in love with this blush collection I am. The thing is that typically when brands send these types of like PR packages, there are always shades that I'm like, probably not gonna wear that, wouldn't gravitate towards that. But seeing even the brightest shades kind of blended out with that foundation, they're stunning. They're so beautiful, especially for spring and summer where you want a little bit more of a pop in color on your face. There's not a shade that I don't like. So that's my swatching and try on of all 13 shades of the Soft Pinch liquid blush from Rare Beauty. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and you found it helpful. I'll have the blushes linked down below in the description box as well as in the comments. Also, I'll include my top shade choices down below in the description box in case you're wondering which ones I would normally gravitate towards. But honestly, guys, you can't go wrong with any of them. I feel like they just work with your skin. Like, they take on whatever shade your skin is because they blend so well into the skin that they almost just like pair really nicely with whatever's underneath them. So pretty. If you guys liked this video though, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know what your favorite shade was. I'm at a loss for words. I actually don't know what my favorite shade was because if you could not tell, I'm shook that we literally went from this color, you saw it, it was a disaster, to this. Only Selena Gomez could do that. But be sure to hit that subscribe button if you want to stick around for some more videos. I tend to review a lot of Rare Beauty on here. So if you want to stick around for some more videos, hit the subscribe button. I'll see you guys in my next one really, really soon. Bye guys.